It was a Friday in Soho, 1979. 6-year-old Etten Patz convinced his mother, Julie, that he was old enough to walk the 2 blocks to the bus stop alone for the first time. He had $1 in his pocket to buy a soda. He wore a blue captain's hat. He walked out the door of his Prince Street apartment. He never made it to the bus. He never came home. New York City had seen crime before, but this was different. Etten's father, a professional photographer, distributed thousands of black and white photos of his son. For the first time, a child's face appeared on the side of milk cartons across America. The missing child movement was born out of a Soho basement. Parents who used to let their kids play in the streets until dark began locking their doors. The age of innocence in New York didn't just end, it vanished. Years turned into decades. The case went cold, then warm, then cold again. Suspects were named and cleared. The Patz family refused to move or change their phone number, hoping, against all logic, that Etten might one day call. 33 years later, the silence broke. A tip led police to a man named Pedro Hernandez. In 1979, he was a teenage stock clerk at a bodega just down the street from Etten's home. He confessed to luring the boy into the basement with the promise of a soda. No physical evidence remained. No remains were ever found. It became a trial of memory versus confession. In 2017, Hernandez was finally convicted of murder. But the impact of Etten Patz goes far beyond a courtroom. May 25th, the day Etten disappeared, is now National Missing Children's Day. We live in a world of Amber Alerts and heightened security because of a 2-block walk that a 6-year-old boy never finished. Crime number 2, the name on the stone. It was a hot July morning when construction workers found it. A blue cooler, discarded like trash in the brush. Inside was a child. No ID, no witnesses. No one in the tri-state area had reported a girl matching her description missing. The detectives called her Baby Hope, because that's all they had to go on. Every year on the anniversary of the discovery, the detectives organized a memorial. They paid for her headstone out of their own pockets. It read, Baby Hope. 22 years passed. Technology caught up to the crime. In 2013, a tip led investigators to a woman who believed the Baby Hope sketches looked like her sister, who had vanished in 1991. A DNA test confirmed it. Baby Hope had a name, Angelica Castillo. She was 4 years old. We know her name now, Conrado. We know she was your cousin. The Baby Hope posters you walked past for 20 years? That was Angelica. Juarez eventually confessed to the 1991 killing. He had kept the secret for over 2 decades, assuming the city had forgotten. He was wrong. They didn't just solve a murder. They gave a child back her identity. Today, the detectives still visit the site, but they don't call her Baby Hope anymore. They call her Angelica. Crime number 3, the Iron Guest. It looked like a time capsule. In the middle of a busy Queens construction site, workers unearthed a rare 19th century Fisk iron coffin. Through the glass viewing plate, they saw him, a young boy, perfectly preserved as if he had just fallen asleep. He was dressed in a long white shroud and knee-high socks. But there was no headstone, no records, just a boy in an iron suit, buried under a parking lot. He's been under there for over 150 years. The iron seal kept the air out, but it also kept his story in. The team began a biological autopsy. They didn't just want to know how he died, they wanted to know who he was. They found traces of a disease that once decimated New York, smallpox. Investigators discovered the site was once a cemetery for the First African Methodist Episcopal Church. They scoured thousands of death certificates from the mid-1800s, looking for a child, roughly 14 years old, who died of smallpox in that specific parish. Found him, Isaac Conrad. Isaac was the son of a waiter. He lived in a world where he was free, but vulnerable. He wasn't killed by a man with a weapon, but by a city that hadn't yet learned how to protect its children from the invisible killers in the water and the air. His community had loved him enough to bury him in the most expensive, protective casket available at the time, an iron Fisk, to ensure he stayed safe forever. In 2016, 165 years after his death, Isaac Conrad was finally laid to rest with a name on his stone. If you want to watch more crime videos, please subscribe to our channel.